Welcome everyone back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. My name is D-Free here today. In this video, we will be talking about the 4th year anniversary part 2 new cards that we should be getting and just talking about what those cards do, the best teams that they can fit on, and things of that nature. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you do leave that thumbs up to show your support here on the channel. If you're new as well, make sure you hit that subscribe. So what we're going to do, just to walk you guys through it, is we're going to look at each individual unit that did come out in part 2 of the year 4 anniversary, okay? And then from there, we're going to talk about them, go a breakdown on them, do a breakdown on them, and then also talk about some categories that they're useful on and just different ways they're useful, right? So, B-Pan, so if you guys were able to go through each individual day, you should have B-Pan. I've seen some people have access to her and stuff like that. Do take note that apparently on Global right now, it does appear that she does not super early, which I imagine is not intentional, so we'll see what happens with that. That being said, B-Pan is actually a phenomenal unit for a couple of different reasons. We go ahead and take a look at her passive skill. It allows for a recovery of 33% of the damage she deals as HP. So she recovers 33% of what she does. She's effectively the best healer in the game on a practical basis. So we're going to take a look at the other part of her passive. High chance of reducing damage received by 55%. So that being said, that is a 50% chance to reduce the damage she receives by 55%. This is on a per hit basis. I've had situations with her personally where she's went ahead and tanked one hit for like double digits and then took 20 or 30k on another because she doesn't have any natural defense. It's just little things like that. But again, she does heal you, so the healing should offset that. But the most impressive thing that B-Pan does is her active skill. All allies get 33% to attack for 1 turn, and it can be activated starting from the 3rd turn of the start of the battle. 1 time only. So there's no notes here about the active skill, but the way that this applies basically to the units, it's entirely different from other stuff. So it's very, very good. It's one of the best attack boost abilities in the game. It's a one-time thing, and it's active skill restricted, but nonetheless, we have access to it. So that is what she's phenomenal at. Okay, so this time we're going to go ahead and take a look at another unit here. This is Majub. Now, Majub actually is a unit that you get from the Dokkan Battlefield mode / Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash. So when it comes down to him, this is a transforming Oob. So he goes from Oob, Teen to Majub. That being said, Resurrected Warriors category leader, which is awesome because we need more just general category leaders, I'd say. But he does have some shaky things about him that we're going to talk about here in a moment. So his super attacks both lower the enemy's attack. His passive skill raises ki by up to 6 and attack and defense by up to 90%. The more HP remaining, the greater the stat boosts. So that's also very, very good because he's getting a 90% maximum, but also self-sufficiency. He also fuses with Mr. Boo when the conditions are met, which is fusion when HP is 40% or less. Now, depending on your account, pretty much, you might have varying difficulties with getting below 40% or less, but general consensus is these or less types of mechanics are generally just not quote-unquote good. But again, it depends on the player. But we got to take a look at the links for this guy. He has Infighter, Revival, Toughest Nails, Cold Judgment, Kamehameha, GT, and Legendary Power. Not a very good link set, but the thing about his link set is when he transforms, the links entirely change. He turns into a whole other unit, which is really cool, actually. So his attacks still do lower the enemy's attack. The 18 ki greatly lowers the enemy's attack. That being said, the passive recovers 40% of your HP once only, which is good because you are going to be low on HP because of the restriction, right? Also, he gets a guaranteed 100% attack and defense at the start of the turn. And he also randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres. So this is about the time where they really started using that type of mechanic. A little bit before this, actually. But that being said, changes random orbs to rainbow orbs. Also, he gets bonus 2 ki per rainbow orb obtained. So he doesn't have the natural self-sufficiency of plus 6 ki maximum that he had previously. But it changes to where he gets 3 ki from each rainbow orb he would get, the 1 and the plus 2. And then we take a look at the links here. He has Rival Duo now, Master of Magic, Majin, he has Cold Judgment still. He picks up Fused Fighter and GT. This is where I would like for there to be like a general GT category because he can actually make use of some of this stuff like Fused Fighter he'd be able to get with Gogeta SS4. Unfortunately, the teams he's available on, they're not really particularly great. He doesn't have the best options. He wants to be mainly on Resurrected, which is also why he leads that category. But prior to Fusion, he doesn't even link very well with those units there, the Majin Buu type units and stuff like that. But when he does, he actually can link pretty well with Fat Boo units that are on this category. So just little stuff like that. Other than that, though, Transformation Boost is a solid category that also does feature a lot of Majin Buu units. So again, he'd be good alongside Majin Buu type units or Master of Magic wielders or whatever the case is. But really, I think that Oob kind of needs a designated unit that can actually link up with him and be good in his first form, where he doesn't really have all of that. You know, Infighter, Revival, these are solid links. But at least in this scenario here on the Resurrected Warriors category, he gets access to Revival most of the time. So that's one way that they can kind of mitigate that. So again, I don't want to talk it up to be a huge thing, but it is a little bit of an inconsistent unit. And that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. So for this one, we have the LR Trio. So this is Goku, Pan, and Trunks. Very good card. Dragon Ball Seekers category leader. 4-key, 170. 170% 4-key. That is, I believe, the highest of these 4-key leaders with the secondary type boost, right? Correct me if I'm mistaken, but I think so. In fact, if we take a look at the unit they came out with, he's only 130. So this tells me that Baby's going to definitely get a category leader. This one, I think they still get a Dokkan Fest exclusive, category leader. I think they still get one, but I don't really know. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the super attacks. Both of them raise the defense of this unit. That is actually very important, especially when you look at the Ultra Super, which raises by 33% for 3 turns, meaning that it has just enough length on it to be able to stack. We're going to take a look at the passive skill attack and defense plus 77% when performing a super attack, plus an additional 77% if it's an Ultra Super, which keep in mind also you are getting for the Ultra Super, again, the defense raised for 3 turns versus just the one from the regular Super, and then of course the Mega Colossal on tied with that. Also, key +1 per Dragon Ball Seekers category ally in her team. So this is a incredibly self-sufficient unit. On a Dragon Ball Seekers category team, this unit gets access to all of that key and is insanely good. So we have Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Rival Duo, GT. See, like these are types of things that Oob can benefit from, right? Prepare for battle, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. Shout out to Shattering the Limit because Oob is a base LR. He would have really liked to have Shattering the Limit. Unfortunately, he does not. But again, a very good unit, very self-sufficient, very hard-hitting, solid defense. Like, this unit is very well-rounded, and I don't think this unit gets enough. I didn't really talk too much about the categories that this unit has access to. It only has access to 2, Dragon Ball Seekers and Join Forces. Innately, it wants to be best used on the Dragon Ball Seekers category. It's the best leader, and then on top of that, it gets this self-sufficiency. But they're also solid on Join Forces if you can make room for them on that category, especially if you have Prepare for Battle and or Shattering the Limit units. So there's a lot of key in this unit's passive to make up for the fact that, you know, if you have access to those, then you don't necessarily need this, because they'd still at least get +1 key anyway. We're going to take a look at the Baby. So Super Baby 2, shout out to this man. Artificial Life Forms category. So this was a new category at the time that he introduced, I recall. +4 and 130. So the super attacks do a couple of different things. So lowers attack and then lowers attack and defense with the Ultra Super. Key +3 in attack and defense +100%. Plus an additional key +3 and attack +50% when there is a Pure Saiyans category enemy. He gets an additional 3 key and 50% when there is a Hybrid Saiyan category enemy. So yes, he is getting multiple boosts depending on the number of enemies that are there. And like if you're up against one of the rare stages that includes a Hybrid and a Pure, he is getting both of those, and he becomes insanely self-sufficient. If not, he's just going to get chunks of that, right? Also has a high chance to turn into Grade 8 when HP is 40% or below. We go ahead and take a look at it, the Grade 8 form for Baby. So he has 2 super attacks. LR, apparently LR aims have 2 supers, which is nice. So he does a Super Gallic Gun and then the Revenge Death Ball final. So the Revenge Death Ball does actually do great attack raise for the unit, and also Key +1 in addition per Key Sphere obtained. He actually has a passive, so very good ape unit. Also, other than that, again, self-sufficient as far as the key is concerned. He's got Key +3, Key +3, Key +3, but it's just situational. But at his bare minimum, he's going to be 100% up and Key +3 and still lowering attack and defense. You know, the lowering of attack and defense is not always relevant because it's not always usable, but still nice utility to have, especially as we move on to harder content in the game. You'd like to have it than not have it. Also, when it comes down to links, he actually has a lot of very good villain links, I'd say. There's for Conquest is fairly common, Metamorphosis as well. Big Bad, of course, is definitely common. Shattering the Limit, again, very good. He didn't necessarily need it, I'd say, because he has all that self-sufficiency, but it's fine. And the Legendary Power, GT, and Hatred of the Saiyans. Also, we take a look at the categories. For this man, I think the best category for him personally is Transformation Boost, because you actually... Transformation Boost, excuse me. Because you have access to a lot of units, and you have access to a lot of just general boosts that you can apply to this unit. And fun fact, when it comes down to artificial life forms, there's actually a lot of bleed over between that and Transformation Boost. You can literally build almost the same exact identical team, and you'd be better off leading here, unless you want that one extra key, right? You can lead with Transformation Boost leader because he actually has access to artificial life forms, and again, you can literally build just about the same exact team. So other than that, Giant Form, shout out to Giant Form. They're always just going to kind of be a thing, but never really going to get praised, but it's fine. All right, so we're going to take a look at the Easy A Super Saiyan Vegeta Jr., a Hybrid Saiyan leader. So this is a free-to-play unit, of course. I mentioned these two came out on the same LR banner. This is a free-to-play unit that gets an Easy A. Hybrid Saiyans, 3 key, 77% to all stats. Solid for a sub-leader. Super attack raises defense for 1 turn. Passive skills, attack and defense plus 60% at the start of the turn, plus an additional Key +2 and attack plus 50% for 5 turns after receiving an attack. Yes, this is reapplyable each time he gets hit after 5 turns, and it wears off. It'll come right back. Links are very solid as well, if only because they're not great, but he does link pretty well with the Goku Jr., if that matters to you. Other than that, he has Saiyan Lineage, which is decently splashable, I'd say. Royal Lineage works between any Vegeta family unit for the most part. We have Infighter as well, which is decently... triggerable. GT, that's good. Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, those are good. Shining Limit, good. So he doesn't really need much, I'd say. He's not the... He doesn't have like that vaunted prepare for battle, but he has some stuff there. Now, for the categories, personally, he wants to be on his own team, right? But his best team innately should be either Vegeta's family or Super Saiyans, just simply because of the number of options he'd have access to, and also the leader skill bonuses he'd get. We go ahead and take a look at the last unit. This is another free-to-play Easy A. This is a GT Goku. We go ahead and take a look at him. He is a Shadow Dragon Saga category leader, 3 keys, 77%. We go ahead and take a look at the super attack, causes supreme damage to enemies, and raises allies' defense by 30% for 1 turn. Also, the passive skill is attack and defense plus 12% per key sphere obtained, Key +2, and attack plus 20% in addition per rainbow key sphere obtained. Randomly changes key spheres to a certain type, from a certain type to rainbow key spheres when there's a Shadow Dragon Saga enemy. So let's go ahead and go over this one more time. He gets a boost per orb. He gets a bonus boost and bonus key per rainbow orb, and he even generates his own rainbow orbs. So very good unit overall. Personally, I'd say the best setup for him is alongside any sort of GT units. Like, you can trigger these links fairly easily. I'd say most of them, all in the family, Saiyan Warrior Race, Experienced Fighters, Prepare for Battle, Saiyan Pride, which is very uncommon on Goku. I think this might be, what, the only Goku? Maybe the second Goku? I don't really have much time to go over it, but I think it's the only Goku. Regardless, you can trigger that fairly easy, right? GT and Shadow in the Limit as well. So Shadow Dragon Saga and Pure Saiyans are also very, very good on this man. So that concludes our entire list. If you guys enjoyed today's video, hit the subscribe if you're new for more content. And have an awesome day, and I will catch all of you guys in the next one.